Okay. Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for being here. We do appreciate that as we are preparing for what we know is Hurricane Zeta, expected to make landfall, seeing signs of that as early as 2 p.m. this afternoon, with the expectancy of start to feel the wind forces coming our way, and of course getting stronger between that 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. mark, with the expectation it's coming fast, it's coming strong, and hopefully out of our way in between, moving out 9 p.m., 11 p.m. towards, of course, this evening. And so with that, I am joined by my Director of Homeland Security, Colin Arnold, Deputy CEO of Infrastructure, Ramsey Green, Dr. Jennifer Vegno, as you know, is our Director of Health for the City of New Orleans. Also joined by Ghassan Corbin, who is our CEO, Executive Director of the Sewage and Water Board. Not stopping there, have our leadership partner, Sandra Miller, representing Entergy New Orleans. Also, I have my Director of the Orleans Parish Communications District, Director Tyrell Morris, who will talk to us about 311, 911, other things as we move through this press conference. Also, my fierce leader, Colonel Ebert, who is with us as our Director of Public Safety and Homeland Security, again, for the City of New Orleans. As I mentioned, Hurricane Zeta is on our way. We will be closing City Hall. Employees will be dismissed, early dismissal, 12 noon, so they can move forward, get to their places of living quarters so they can hunker down. This is not a drill. We've had many of them. It's not a drill. We do expect directly impacting the City of New Orleans. There is confidence all around that aspect. Therefore, we are prepared, and we're wanting to ensure that residents heed the warnings, make sure that you are prepared, and be ready to be off of the streets. And I will encourage you by 2 p.m. this afternoon. Zeta is currently moving in as a Category 1, but again, expected to strengthen potentially as a Category 2 as it passes through our area. As I mentioned earlier, the storm is moving fast. The most significant threat to us continues to be that wind, and that's absolutely why we have Entergy here with us this morning. Tropical force winds, as I mentioned, expected to start feeling them around 2 p.m. We will still see heavy rains, and earlier this in the afternoon, again around that 2 p.m., but moving into 5. Heavy rains continues again to be an issue for us, but wind the greatest threat, as I understand. The rainfall still in that area between 2 to 4 inches of rain to be expected. Ghassan will give you more information on Sewage and Water Board and how we are prepared and have been proactive in that regard as it relates to redundancy and power. City Hall employees, as I mentioned, dismissal 12 noon, and now is the time to prepare to get off the road. With wind coming our way, make sure that you have, brought in your garbage cans, that you have, gotten all in things on the front of your house, the back of your home that could potentially fly away. You'll hear more about the work that we have done on the ground as it relates to construction sites and the like across the City of New Orleans. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Colin Arnold to give you more, and we'll move through briefings as you all know that we do. So thank you again, and Colin.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good morning, everybody. Mayor's covered it quite well. I would just say, obviously, the forecast overnight and into this morning has, I would say, ratcheted up a notch, where we were looking at a tropical storm to potentially a Category 1 hurricane making landfall on the coast of Louisiana this afternoon. We're now looking at a 1, potentially a 2 making landfall. And every indication, as we've seen, we all see that the cone of uncertainty starts off real big, 2, 3 states. And if you're looking at that cone of uncertainty as of the 10 a.m., it's laser focused on our area. And people need to know that despite 6 times where we were able to prepare for this and we were missed, that this time we've prepared and we are going to get impacts from this. This evening, you're going to see sustained tropical storm winds. I'm talking 40, 50 mile an hour winds sustained for multiple hours. And you're going to see damaging, potentially life-threatening winds of 80 to 90 to 95 miles an hour, those gusts during that time period. And I think it's very important. Look, it's moving fast. 20 to 30 miles an hour, this is like a front coming through here. It's going to be very fast. But what I would like to reiterate is that as fast as it's going to leave us is as fast as it's going to come to us. So by 2 p.m. today, you need to be off the streets. You need to be not in your vehicle. You need to be not driving. You need to be by 2 p.m. at the latest where you are going to ride this out for several hours and where you're going to be safe. Okay, so those last minute preparations, they need to be done now because we've seen you over the past few days, and look, we've been doing this all season. This is the 7th time. We really appreciate the residents paying attention. I hope you know that we have paid attention. We are paying attention upstairs right now. EOC has been activated since 7 o'clock this morning. We will be here until this is over. But speaking about this being over, something we haven't had to discuss this year is expectations, okay? There are going to be impacts here, especially from wind. There's going to be power outages. There's going to be downed trees. There's going to be downed limbs. There's going to be dangers out there in the street after this is over. And these things will not be resolved overnight, and they're not going to be resolved in a day. So we need people to pay attention. Tyrell will talk about the use of 911 and 311. Please, I encourage everyone to heed his message about reporting down trees, down power lines, down limbs. Sandra's going to talk about the energy response to this, which will be robust. It will be very strong, but we just need to set that expectation that although this will move through very quickly, it won't be over. We will have a post-storm component to this that we will have to address.